Hey, what's up, guys? David Gascon here. Week number 6 in the National Football League is upon us, and Ben's getting himself ready right now since the Dodgers are bashing the Atlanta Braves right now in Game 5 of the NLCS. I want to let you guys know this show is powered by Ecamm Live. It's a Mac-based application from Boston. And for all your streaming needs, you can find us on Ecamm Live. There's a link at the bottom of this description, so if you're interested, curious about the ways of streaming live or even on demand, click on that link. It helps support the show. You can watch it at any given time, whether it's live or on demand, through Facebook, Periscope, Twitch, YouTube, whatever it may be, any given time. You also could comment, rate us, give us 5 stars, thumbs up, the whole 9 yards. Ecamm Live for all your live streaming needs. Now, Ben had a great week 5. We'll see if we can go back to back right now, week 5 into week 6. And without further ado, Ben Maller, what is up, man? Good to see you.
Hey, Gascon, listen, I pulled out the Rams hat. It's football season. It's fully football season now. I know we're not even going to talk about the Dodgers. I know these guys, they'll win tonight and they'll find a way to puke it up at the last minute, whether it's on Saturday or Sunday. So it's football. This is a football show, right? We don't need to worry about baseball and all that. And I'm gonna even turn it off. I have it on the TV right over here, but you can't see it because it's not on the camera, but I'm gonna focus on the football. All right.
All right. Fair enough. I
see that you got the same outfit on though that you've had just about every week there. Some version of your 1980s television police detective outfit. That's good.
I'd like to think it's a nice college shirt, fashionable tie. It's a little blue, just like your attire. Kind of matching a little bit. I don't have the gold that you do, the LA Rams, but it's all good. Some of us got to dress professionally, Others
professionally.
Slap around. It's fine.
Who the hell's watching this? It's a midnight in the East. It's 9 in the West on a Friday, man. My God, who the hell would be watching this live? But I do see we have some people in the chat, so there's a few hardy souls, Gascon, that are dying for marginal NFL handicapping. Now, you mentioned that I did pretty well last week, and I feel like that is a disrespect by you, Gascon, because you're underselling what happened. This was a great turnaround situation. I had a couple of duds in a row, a couple of weeks didn't go my way, a couple of breaks didn't go my way, and I flipped the script last week. I flipped the script. We had a very good week. I changed some things up. Some teams actually played the way I expected them to play, which makes it a hell of a lot easier. So I was happy about that. So I'm fine.
Let's take a look at that. We'll see what you did, the weekly recap for Big Ben. I don't know. Like, you've made some adjustments. You've acknowledged that. You went 9-5 last week, but why? Why are you putting money on the New York Jets? Every single time you pick the New York Jets, they shart all over the place.
The Jets have not covered the spread. That is true. They're playing Miami this weekend. We're going to get to that game later. My strategy, I try to find a way. I've told you this, Gascon. I'm an underdog player. It bothers me greatly to bet on a favorite. I do not like betting on favorites. It's very annoying to me to bet on favorites. And so I try to find a scenario where the underdog can either win the game outright or cover the spread. And sometimes I cannot do that. I fail miserably. But that's the goal. That is the goal. And the Jets, there's playing bad teams. You figure they're a bad team. Everyone else is bad. They're so far. It's like a 5A versus a 1A high school football team, the matchup between the Jets and everybody else. That's how incompetent they are. But there you go. By the way, Robert says, I'm looking at the chat here. Gascon dropping a last-minute deuce before coming on there. Is that true, Gascon?
That is true.
You did.
That is definitely true. Take a peek at your numbers, Ben, for the overall season. 41, 33.
No. Just look at last week.
Hold on.
You start with last week, and then you go back. We
just did that.
I think you need to talk slower and repeat yourself for the people that are just entering the chat.
Well, okay, here's the problem, though, is that every time I try to do that, I get trampled over, said 6'5", 250-pounder from Newport Beach, California. So
Irvine, California, the mean streets of Irvine, California, the wrong side of the tracks. But the part of Irvine, not west of the 405, east of the 405, was raised east of the 405.
Fact.
Unlike you, with silver spoon in your mouth.
On third base, silver spoon in my mouth. So it's not bad. 9-5 last week. Your winning percentage is now boosted up to 554. You're trying to duplicate something you haven't done since week one. You're only as good as your last sale.
No. To win money at gambling as a sports bettor, you have to win more than 52.4%. If you do that, now that's just a little bit. You got to be a lot above that to win some real money. And I will point out, you should never bet every game. That is ridiculous. There was a guy from Tampa that called up, one of my regulars in Tampa, and he's like, "Hey, I want to get into sports betting." He knew nothing about it. He knew nothing about sports gambling. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, because that's the kind of guy the sports books want. That's the guy. You got to go into it with some kind of knowledge. There's like three types of people that bet, right? There's the gambler that has no clue. That's the kind of person the casinos love. The bettor that has some information. And then after that, you got the person they call the wagerer, who's got all the information, that has all the numbers and all that stuff. And that's the person they try to avoid. Another way to call it is the sharps, right? The sharps they're part of the people that are in the inner circle and all that. And you always try to find, and it's hard to get this information. There's some places that offer it where they're betting their money, because you want to be on that side.
Right.
You don't want to be on the side of Joe Blow, who doesn't know what the hell's going on here.
Well, so
anyway,
how do you get around that, being stuck at home and not having the opportunity to go to Las Vegas, which you have done in years past? You play some friendly wagers.
Well, yeah, I have not been to Vegas since the end of 2019, and probably won't go to Vegas anytime soon, because the casinos, you see this during the week, the casinos not even open now, because travel has gone down so much in the year 2020 with the COVID-19 and all that. So, but yeah, I mean, here's the weird thing that I learned years ago. You'd think if you were a sharp gambler, a professional gambler, you would live in Vegas. That would be your home, because that's the mecca of gambling. But a lot of those guys actually don't live in Vegas. They just send runners to Vegas to put the bets in. They have people that live there.
Right.
And they they live in Florida or New York or LA or San Diego or wherever, and so that they're not all in Vegas, and a lot of those guys, they just happen to know people. If you're a football bettor, you happen to know people in the NFL and give you information that's not privileged to the public. So it's like insider trading, if you will.
One way or another, someone's getting paid, right?
Yeah, exactly. Someone's getting their money. It always works out that way. Someone is getting paid. So that's exciting. Should we actually do the picks here? I mean, should we talk more? What do you want here, Gascon? I'm not distracted because I'm not looking. It sounds like I might be looking at the Dodger game, but I am not looking at the Dodger game. They have a comfortable lead at this point, so I'm not concerned about that.
All right, fair enough. So let's do. Why don't we start things off with the Chicago and Carolina? Yes.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll start with this game. Chicago 4-1, Carolina 3-2. It's on Fox. You know who's calling this game?
This is not a Dick Stockton game, is it?
No, it is not. Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilmer.
All right.
Kenny Albert, a friend of the Maller Militia. We like Kenny Albert. And he will be calling this game. The game opened Carolina a 3-point favorite. The public loves the Chicago Bears for some reason. And I don't really know why. The Bears, I know they got 4 wins. Is it possible? I guess the thing would be they have extra rest. That's always attractive to the gambling market. They have extra rest because they played on the Thursday game, and now they beat Tampa Bay, so that's also attractive. Oh, they beat Tampa Bay. How exciting is that? But here's the deal. The Panthers are pick'em at home. It's a pick'em game. Sunny, 63 degrees at kickoff, Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. And I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers in this game. Now, Carolina was supposed to be a bad team. And they've gotten 3 wins in a row. They're 3-0 and 3-0 against the spread the last 3 games, I believe. So Carolina has not missed a beat. And they've won since Christian McCaffrey, who was supposed to be the franchise, since this guy went out, Gascon, they've been able to win. And the replacement running backs, they're not particularly great in any one area statistically, but they're okay. They're right in the middle in a lot of areas. There's 7 quarterbacks who have won 64% of their starts and have completed 64% of their passes. That list includes Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater, I believe, is very average. I think he's a very average guy, Bridgewater. But he's on a list that includes Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and Aaron Rodgers. Like, that's the upper crust of quarterbacks in the NFL. And then the other thing here for Chicago, Matt Nagy, who took some shots at Nick Foles and the Bears offense, and rightfully so. The media got all freaked out in Chicago locally. But Nagy was upset because of the attention to detail was not there for the Bears offense. And listen, if you saw the game Thursday night, the last game they played against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that was more of a giveaway situation than the Buccaneers, than the Bears rather winning the game. So Chicago has played with persistence. They have continued to fight in games. They've come back in a lot of these games. That's why they're 4-1. But it doesn't feel real. This feels like it's not a diamond, the Bears. It's more like a cubic zirconia. Carolina is 3-0, as I said, straight up and against the spread the last 3 games. I'm going to say that continues here. And despite the extra west for Chicago, I am taking the Panthers 30 and the Bears, which is going to be the fun. And the Penny picks.
Penny is going with Carolina in this one.
All right, Carolina it is. By the way, those guys in the chat, I see you got some new people coming into the chat here. Thumbs up. Remember, thumbs up when you start watching there. And yes.
So here's something that might make you laugh a little bit. It might make you cry. You might say something a little newsworthy that you might have to go to church. We had a moment last week where I decided not to take any phone calls for 3.5 hours on one of your shows.
On a network radio show, a caller-driven radio show, caller-driven network radio show.
On a caller-reliant radio show, yes. And tonight, since obviously the anticipation of Game 5 of the NLCS, schedulings and whatnot, you decide you wanted to push things back to 9 o'clock Pacific, 12 o'clock Eastern for Benny versus the Penny. And since we have kind of embarked on YouTube and try to push things out across like Instagram and Facebook and some of the other applications, I decided for this show that we would launch on Twitter, of course, like on Periscope, but also go to Twitch, YouTube, and possibly LinkedIn. Well, there's an application that we use that kind of like forces things out to other applications. And because the dynamics in those applications are a little bit off and slow, most of the people are on a different link. We are welcoming a new audience.
Okay, so now, and I'm not even getting paid for this. So now you have effed up Benny versus the Penny. So not only has Gascon screwed up the radio show, which the corporate people should be upset. Now, Gascon, why didn't you say, hey, Maller, I effed up. Let's not do Benny versus the Penny this week. So who are we? Am I just talking to you? Is that what I'm doing?
No.
Gascon? Are we just having a conversation? Is that it? I mean, no, I do see some people. I see Supermarket Steve is in the chat. I see Alf the Great Alien Opiner is in there.
Yeah.
I see a guy, Rich, who says, fire, gag on. Boy.
So while you were making your first pick, I had set up a new link and tweeted that out. So if you calmly go over to the Twitter account and retweet that sucker, you can do God's work right there.
So the link I tweeted out was a bogus link? Is that what
No,
you're
actually,
telling me?
it was a good link, but it was only for YouTube, and there's a software that I'm using that is kind of having this thing spider out to a bunch of different places. And when we use that, it doesn't allow us to use the original link. So kind of cuts things off a little bit at the knees when you try to get people in here. So gotta adjust on the fly.
Now, it is possible, Gascon, that you could have let me know, I don't know, 10 minutes before the show, possibly, maybe 5 minutes before the show, conceivably. You could send me a text.
I wouldn't know that unless we went live. And so now that we're live, we're moving on the fly. I'm kind of like Joe Kelly, right? Like I could throw heat, but I don't know where the ball is going.
All right, so now I'm gonna. All right, so we're gonna pause Benny versus the Penny. I mean, what's the point of doing it? No one's watched.
Wait, why are we pausing it? People are coming in that are.
I sent out the bogus link. I don't have the right link to send out on my Twitter account.
So go to my recent tweet and you can retweet that. That's fine. It's the updated link.
I gotta go to the David Gagon account. Is that what I have to do?
It's David J. Gascon. Yes, you could do that.
David Gascon. Hold on a sec here. This is tremendous.
Steve is great. He says, you guys know there's like 50 people on the other YouTube channel trying to watch you guys. That is awesome.
Scope link. Is that I don't know what the hell's going on here.
No, it's a YouTube link.
You sent that out. You sent the Periscope link out 16. I thought I tweeted out the YouTube link, didn't I?
I thought you did too.
Did I do the YouTube link?
I thought you did.
All right. Then what's the problem here?
I don't know. People
There's no one on Periscope. No one's on that Periscope link.
I don't think. I don't know, man. Those are your people.
Yeah.
It's all good.
All right, anyways. Steven. I think Steven's the guy that always wants me to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. He says there's a new YouTube channel for Benny Vista Penny. I think he meant versus Penny. Gagon couldn't get this one to work. He said, here we go. Pierre, a.k.a. Alfie Alien Opiner, says, time to teach Half Pint and Beer Drinking Brian how to use a computer and log into YouTube.
And the best part is just people sitting in that chat room for 10 minutes.
Oh, my God, Gascon. So I don't even know what's going on. I have no idea. But let's continue with the picks or else we're going to be here all night.
That's right.
The next game up, only for our consumption, Cincinnati. But you should feel like you've won the lottery if you figured out how to watch this show. Congratulations, because there's a lot of other people that are thinking the show they're still waiting, and it's not here. So anyway, all right, Cincinnati at Indianapolis. Gascon, of course, the first guy in broadcasting to do a show and then it's like a wild goose chase to try to watch the show. Normally, people make it very easy. All right, Cincinnati 1-3-1, Indianapolis 3-2. It's on Fox, and so the matchup here in the play-by-play booth, you've got Kevin Kugler and Chris Spielman, who have the call. The Colts open an 8.5-point favorite. They're favored by 9.5. It is at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Cloudy, 59 degrees at kickoff. In this one, the Colts are the pick. I'm going to take Indianapolis. I don't like betting favorites, but I tried to find a reason to take Cincinnati. I could not do it. A couple of things here. Number one, Joe Burrow and friends completely snuffed out by the Ravens. Last week in that blowout. Back to reality for Cincinnati after a couple of weeks where they looked decent. The Bengals have the NFL's 23rd ranked defense. They are also a sloppy team. They're 23rd in giveaways at 1.4 per game, so almost 1.5 giveaways per game, and 24th in penalties. That's how you get to a 1-3-1 record. And through 5 games, Joe Burrow, we mentioned this the other night on the radio show, Joe Burrow is on pace for over 6 sacks this season. So he's not getting protection. He's not throwing the ball away when he's about to get sacked. It's a bad. And then the second thing here, while nobody says that Phillip Rivers is good, the defense is legit. They're coming off a loss to the Cleveland Browns, and I am a little hesitant to bet a big number with Phillip Rivers here, but Indianapolis does have the number 1 ranked defense, in the NFL, and I think those numbers are a little inflated. They did give up 385 yards to Cleveland last week, but they're still number one in the NFL. That all being said here, this has massive blowout written all over it. I'm going to take the Colts 34 and the Bengals 13, your final. And the Penny picks.
Penny is going with the Cincinnati Bengals in this one.
All right, very good there. So now I see the guys in the chat. Maybe I'm on the wrong link here. I don't know. I might have to. I'm gonna click refresh here, Gascon.
No.
You've got me completely.
I got you twisted while Max Muncy's going yard. You're just on the wrong internet connection right now. That's all you're on.
Yeah, because it says the video is unavailable.
Ooh,
so that's the link that I sent out, right?
Oh, why are you doing that? It's a bad job by you.
Well, somebody sent me the link here. So hold on. So I have promoted for 2 days Benny versus the Penny, and I have sent out a link that is a bogus link.
Yeah.
Is that what I have done here?
Maybe.
Oh yeah, I see people on my Twitter. Where are you at? Where are you at? Oh my God. Gascon has done it again.
Oh.
David Gascon, the legend of Gascon.
I'm notorious.
You're going to earn a new nickname instead of Gagon. Well, in addition to Gagon, I had Bob Guerra that was Wrong Button Bob. And hold on. Now, is there a chat? I'm seeing the new link here, Gascon.
Yeah.
So bear with us. This is amateur hour. David Gascon.
The reason why I did that was because then you can get people that come on from Twitter and YouTube and possibly like Twitch or some of the other applications.
Yeah. All right. How about Mason the Millennial? He says, I feel so bad for Maller having to deal with the incompetence of David Gascon. Don't worry, Ben. I'm still tuned in somehow, some way. Thank you, Mason the Millennial.
I got love for you, man.
That. All right, hold on a second. Now I'm gonna put you on blast, Gascon. I'm gonna say, hold on a sec. Let me type this out here.
This is great for radio, even better for digital broadcasting. So then I guess I'm a
professional here, Gascon.
I guess
and you effed up, man. You effed up big time. All right. This is actually worse. Somehow you have done worse than not being able to screen a phone call.
I will.
I will.
As you continue to go berserk, I'll give everyone a recap on what you did last week with week number 5, since you are off the rails. 9-5, a 643 winning percentage. You can see the W's in caps and in bold, and then of course the ones that are losses, lowercase, or at least somewhat, except for that New York Jets thing. That thing sucked. 30-10 Arizona. Anyways, Ben, that was a good job by you, but. Yeah, we're back. We're back in the fold here with what you have done. And overall, week 1 was your best. 10-5-1.
I've just sent out the correct link. Just sent out the correct link here, so we have that ready to go. All right, we have that. The Dodgers kicking some ass as we're doing this, so at least they're doing well for a day until they find a new one getaway. I know they're just going to wait until Sunday. They'll win on Saturday, and then they'll come back and Sunday, and then they'll just puke all over the field again, just to toy with my emotions.
Well, how much would you love it if they came back?
I've sent out the correct one.
All right.
What?
I was gonna say, how much would you love it if they came back in Game 7? They threw Kershaw on the mound as a starter in Game 7.
No, they won't start Kershaw in Game 7. They'll have Kershaw come in out of the bullpen in like a tie game. That's my prediction. Kershaw come in out of the bullpen in a tie game, and P.U. What stinks? Clayton Kershaw. He'll take a ride on the vomit comet. All but guaranteed that that's going to happen. All right. I think I'm on the right link here, Gascon. So is this a different chat or is this the same chat?
It's the same chat.
I see there's more people actually on this link.
Yeah.
Go figure. Amazing.
It's still good to have people in a room, 50 people talking to each other with no show going on. I find great humor in all that.
Yes. Tapped in Tommy. We got legends on here. Tapped in Tommy, who's checked in. Justin in Parts Unknown says we need to see Marcel. Rob in Vegas checks in. It says Russian bots have infiltrated Benny versus the Penny. Le Purse and China might be behind it as well. Is there any truth to that, Gascon? Is there any truth to that rumor?
I don't know, Matt. It depends what news agency you're going to, because one side's saying it's disinformation, another one's saying that it's the smoking gun.
Oh, man. All right. Let's go on here.
You got some compliments on your hat, that's for sure.
You can ram it all day. You can ram it all day, all night. Bad. Yeah, so I have two of the teams I like. The Clippers and Rams changed their logo, and they're both new logos are disgusting. So I'm old school. I wear the old merchandise. I don't wear the new merch. I like the old merchandise. That's how I roll there. So
Pierre says Dave Roberts is a modern-day Grady Little. Yeah. It's pretty cold. All right, let's do this. Detroit and Jacksonville.
All right, this is on Fox. It's on Fox. Detroit 1-3, Jacksonville 1-4. What a horse crap matchup this is. Chris Myers has the call. I used to work with Chris back in the day at Fox Sports Radio. And Brock Heward and Greg Jennings are also in the booth. The Lions opened up a 2-point favorite in this game. They are now a 3.5-point favorite. Mostly sunny, 77 degrees. There will be fans in the crowd at kickoff at TIAA Bank Field. So I'm going to take Jacksonville in this game. And let me tell you my thinking on this for context. First of all, the Lions are 0-2 as road favorites since Matt Patricia took over. He hasn't been there that long. They've only been favored twice on the road. They haven't been able to cover the spread in either of those. Detroit has the NFL's second worst record as favorites since Matthew Stafford took over. They have a .391 winning percentage with Stafford as the quarterback when they have been favored on the road. So, and it hasn't happened that many times. It's less than 25 times, which you would imagine is accurate because the Lions had that long losing streak on the road. So that's what has happened. That doesn't tell you what's going to happen. The Lions are a popular pick. A lot of people thinking they're the way to go. Jacksonville's been terrible the last couple of weeks. I've been off Jacksonville recently, and I've reaped the benefits of that. Now, secondly, Gardner Minshew. This guy, you got to have him attempt 25, 30 passes. He has attempted 40 or more passes 4 straight games. That is a sign of Armageddon for Jacksonville, and it's worked out that way. Now, Doug Marrone, I was reading some of the comments from Doug Marrone when I was getting ready for handicapping this game. Doug Marrone said the Jags are not giving away games, but they're not taking them, which is an understatement here by Doug Marrone. Now, how has he done as coach as a home dog since Doug Marrone took over? Jacksonville is 500. They're 7-1 as a home dog since taking over. The Lions should not be favored against anyone, even a team like Jacksonville. So I just can't bet on the Lions as a favorite. And you've got the hook in here as well. It's over a field goal. So this should be a nip and tuck game. I don't think there's much separating these teams. Jacksonville's getting some of their injured players back, which in theory, assuming those guys are going to be good, should help them out. I'm going to take the home dog in this spot to win the game out. I don't want the points, but I'll take the points. Jacksonville 28 and the Lions 26. The final. Yes.
Penny is going the other way, as long with your horrible internet. It's going with the Detroit Lions in this one.
I don't know what you're talking. I am using the internet connection of the gods over here. I am using the main internet connection. I'm not using the crappy one. I'm using the big one.
You're using the big one? All right.
Yeah.
Time to put a couple quarters in that dial-up thing.
I don't know what your problem is. Sounds fine to me. All right, next up. What's that?
No. Go ahead.
People complain?
No, nobody's complaining.
It's nice that people are complaining because, that means they've actually finally found the show, which made it very hard for them to find.
Touche.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Atlanta 0-5 at Minnesota 1-4. It is on Fox with Brandon Godden and Daryl Moose Johnston. They have the call on this game. Now, the Vikings opened up a 3-point favorite. They're up to 4 at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities, and it is starting to turn. The weather's starting to turn It's going to be 36 degrees on Sunday at kickoff for this game. So we're starting to get into that chilly willy time of the year as we get closer to the month of November. The pick is in. I am going to take the Minnesota Vikings. I'm taking the Vikings this game. Now Dan Quinn has been given his euthanasia here as the coach. He's been taken out of his misery with the Atlanta Falcons. So Raheem Morris takes over. Now, the only thing I remember about Raheem Morris when he was coaching the Buccaneers, I remember when he got let go. Do you remember the story, that the story going around when Raheem Morris got fired from the Buccaneers?
No.
Do you remember?
No.
So the legend at the time was that Morris, one of the reasons he got fired was not only his terrible record, but he, instead of coaching the players, was partying with the players. And there were reports like, he's out chasing girls, and he was the head coach, like before games, so the night before a game, he was out having a great time. And I don't know whether that's true or not, but those stories were reported. They're on the internet still. You can check them out. So it's been a couple of years. Maybe he's changed his ways. I don't think it matters at all here. Tampa Bay had a .354 winning percentage with Raheem Morris. Atlanta, he was the defensive coordinator, even though Dan Quinn is really the defensive guy. Atlanta, the 31st ranked defense in the NFL, and he gets promoted to the interim head coach, Raheem Morris. Now, clearly, the injury report, you look at some of the guys that are banged up for the Falcons, are like, guys, even some of these guys play, how effective they're going to be. And you've got Matty Ice still hanging around. He'll get some numbers. I just like Minnesota. They gagged away the game, like gag on, against the Seahawks last week. And their season is on life support. It's not over because there's an extra team in the playoffs now. But with Dalvin Cook out, I really like Alexander Mattison, the backup. This guy was really outstanding against Seattle in that Sunday night game. And I expect him to keep it up because he's playing the Atlanta Marshmallow defense here. And I generally like Mike Zimmer, even as a small favorite. As I said, I like underdogs, but Mike Zimmer has done so well as a home favorite. The Vikings have the NFL's third best record against the spread as a home favorite since Mike Zimmer became the coach. Third best record. Minnesota is also an NFL best 13-2 against the spread, coming off a loss in this recent stretch. So I'm going to take the Vikings here over the Falcons. Vikings will pull away in the second half. This is a 4-star pick, Gascon.
Oh.
A 4-star pick. Give me the Vikings 33 and the Patriots 24.
They're not playing the Patriots, but the penny's going with you and taking the Minnesota Vikings as well.
There you go. Tapped in Tommy says, Ben, stop paying for furniture and pay more for better internet. What's wrong with my furniture? You got a problem? I like to lay on the floor. I'm like Weed Man Hippie. I can't. I'm doing overnight radio. What do you want, man? Come on.
That's good.
Emmer writes in. He says, as long as your quarterback is Kirk Cousins, your season is over. Yeah, a lot of people pointing out Queen Roxanne is a fangirl for David Gascon. What's that all about there, Gascon? I mean, geez, come on.
I mean, an ally in my corner, given the fact that, wow, Robert. Anyways,
that's a good line.
It's
there you
pretty
go.
Decent.
By the way, Steve, Mr. Luciano says it's Blind Scott by the door, right there. It's blind. Apparently, Blind Scott is behind me.
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
You go you go from the rooftop to the basement with your attic.
Oh, it's nighttime, man. It's look what time it is. I live in a super secret location somewhere. It's got I have to have the mystery there, just like you have the stupid tie down your neck and all that every week. So anyway, all right, are we ready for the next game? Yes.
Yes.
Do you have any trivia? Do you have any trivia, or you want to move on?
Yeah, we can do some trivia. How about you tee us up, and I'll unfold on the question.
All right, so let me do the next game, and then we'll get to the trivia. So Denver 1-3 at New England 2-2. It's on CBS. Kevin Harlan and Trent Green. Now, we already handicapped this game last week. Obviously, some things have changed. This game was supposed to be played last Monday. It obviously did not happen because of the COVID. I did see the Patriots had another positive COVID test on Friday. So maybe we'll be able to handicap this game for 3 weeks in a row, and they'll push the game back again. That would be outstanding. Now, the Patriots, a 9.5-point favorite at home at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. It's going to be partly sunny, 61 degrees at kickoff in the New England states. I'm going to take the Patriots. Now, again, I'm going against what I'm comfortable at because I am taking another favorite and a sizable favorite. I really hate taking teams over a touchdown, but I'm taking the Patriots. This game, as we said, was supposed to be played last week. It was delayed by the COVID monster. My philosophy on this is not changed. Denver it looked like they were going to play Brett Rippon, and now it appears to be Drew Lock. I don't think anything's been confirmed 100% yet on who's going to play quarterback, but it doesn't matter whether it is Brett Rippon or Drew Lock, because these guys are going into the wood chipper here. Bill Belichick, his last 23 games against first or second year starting quarterbacks in the NFL, Bill Belichick is 22-1. 22-1. So that just tells you he's going to win the game. Now, that's not against the spread. And that is important here because this is a big number. But starting out, if you know you're going to be on the side of the team that wins, you start with that and you're like, okay, now can they cover the spread? What's it going to take for the Patriots to cover the spread? You know they're going to win the game. So, what's going on with the Broncos? They've also got some injuries with guys like Noah Fant, your tight end, who I saw is 50-50, they say, to play. Aren't we all 50-50 to play? And you also have Melvin Gordon, and he got so boosted up, he got a DUI this week, the Bronco running back. Although he's going to play, and he was coming off his best game a couple weeks ago for Denver. So there's some issues for Uncle Vic Fangio. I also loved Fangio. I was going to do a monologue on this, Gascon, because Fangio did this rant. Did you see what he said?
I saw a little bit of it. I didn't see the entire thing, though.
Well, Fangio did this rant that, it's good that this COVID outbreak thing happened because now you can tell who the complainers are, essentially. I'm paraphrasing, but right. He implied, some guys can't handle the adversity, and this is a good way to find out who those guys are. And, of course, a lot of the pussy willows in the media were outraged. They're like, oh, my God, I can't believe Uncle Vic doesn't want the players to speak their feelings and all. It was hilarious. But I agree with Fangio, and that's old school. Fangio's an old dude. That's old school. You want to just roll. We always talk about it. It's a big belief in my life. Whatever comes your way, you roll with the tide, right? And you got to do it. Roll with the punches. And that's all essentially he was saying. And there were factions of the woke media, the wokerati of the media were very upset with Vic Fangio. So there you go. All right. Cam Newton is back, by the way, and Stephon Gilmore, and they had the corona. Now, this is a weird thing because neither one of them had any symptoms from what I was reading the other day. They were asymptomatic, so they didn't even really know they were sick. So they shouldn't, you would think, not lose anything playing the game, right? I mean, they should actually be better because they had rest and they were not feeling the effects of any real illness. In fact, the guy that filled in for you, the producer Kevin, he had the producer corona.
Kevin, yes,
yeah, he had he's the guy that knows how to screen the calls, and he had the corona, and he said he felt a little awkward for a few hours, and that was it. It's like one day, and then he was back, and that appears the same for Cam Newton and Stephon Gilmore. So if I was going to take the Patriots with Brian Hoyer, I'm of course going to take them with Cam Newton to cover the spread. So I'm going to take the Patriots 30 and the Broncos 16, your final. Penny picks.
Penny is going with the road team, the Denver Broncos, in this one.
All right. Let's see here. Chris pointing out, is that Chris in Des Moines? I think that's Chris in Des Moines. That Noah Fant, a Hawkeye. Yeah, there you go.
Your boy Iowa Sam.
All right, we have a trivia. Let's get trivial here. We have a question. Listen up in the chat room, you morons. Listen up, because we'll read some of your dopey answers here. But what is the question we have here, Gascon? Now, these These questions are made possible in part by our friends at Fanatics, and we're going to tell you after Gascon gives you the question while we wait for some answers here, what you need to know about that. But Gascon, what's the question here?
All right, here we go. This Bucs safety could make history over the weekend with an interception of Aaron Rodgers. His father did it back in 2009 with the Minnesota Vikings. Who am I?
All right, that is the question. What is the answer? And while you are sending your answers in, if you're watching live on what is now the correct link, not the link that Gascon originally had me tweet out, thank you for that. So here we go. The way this works on Fanatics, and we had Robbie the Mariner fan, we had a couple of other guys that purchased something on the link. But for us to get credit, they're a partner. We've partnered with Fanatics. And they have all of the latest sports apparel. I didn't even realize they had autograph stuff. Robbie the Mariner fan found a Josh Allen autographed photo, which was, I didn't even think they had. I just think of Fanatics as like the hat place, and because I'm a hat guy.
Yeah.
But they obviously have jerseys and all that stuff. They got pretty much everything, and at premium prices. So I'm not telling you to buy something if you don't need anything. But if you're thinking about buying a new hat or a new shirt or something, and here's the thing, you got to click on that link in the description box. That way we get credit. Now, do you have to clear your cachet, Gascon, or do we get credit just by clicking that link? How's that work? I'm not sure how that works. But
from the day you click it, you get 7 days.
Okay, so from 7 days. So just factor that in. And again, like next time you buy something on Fanatics, it doesn't have to be right now, but do us a little favor, and it doesn't cost you anything at all, and we get a little taste. We don't get much. Don't worry. Fanatics has a good deal there. They're not giving us much, so that'll help us out as well. And here we go. I have some of the answers here. Let's see here. Chris in Des Moines says Joey Jojo Jabodu. Lucky Luciano is the answer from Mr. Luciano. Jack Me Hoff from Travis. The boys are out. Robert got this one right. Walt is going with Leroy Jenkins as his answer. Steven says it's the great Honey Badger, that is the answer. Robin Vegas says Gascon's phallus is the way to go. Tapped in Tommy got it right. Rich is going old school Buccaneers. Leroy Selman as his answer. Alf the Alien Opiner says it's Bo Schembechler. Chris pointing out this is not Chris in Des Moines. So bad job by me for assuming. See what happens when you assume. Will is going with Bump Willis. Mike Allstott guessed by Robert. Who else do we have? Page down here, page down. All right, that's enough. What is the correct answer here, Gascon?
You got it. Or who? You said Chris got it, right? One of the Chris's got it. It was Antoine Winfield Jr. got it.
There's a couple of people. Robert got it right, and a couple of other guys got it right. But, yeah, Antonio Winfield Jr. Check this out. Back in 2009, playing for the Minnesota Vikings, Antonio Winfield Sr. picked off Aaron Rodgers, and here we are 11 years later. And this weekend, if Antonio Winfield Jr. picks off Aaron Rodgers for the Buccaneers, it is believed they will be the first father-son combo to intercept the same quarterback. So that's cool, right? Why not?
Pretty nice, especially because Rodgers doesn't throw a lot of picks.
Very exciting, yeah. All right, we'll keep the train moving here.
Yeah,
yes.
Washington football team and the New York football Giants are on tap.
All right, let's keep it going here. Unfortunately, I see Kenley Jansen there. I have to cover my eyes when I see Kenley Jansen. All right, Washington. I'm sorry. I was having PTSD. Washington 1-4, and the New York Giants, they come in here at 0-5. It's on Fox. Regional coverage of this game. Atl-Min and Mark Schlereth have the call, and the Giants opened up a 3-point favorite. They are favored by 2.5. You say, how the hell could an 0-5 team be favored against anybody? At MetLife Stadium, it is going to be partly sunny, 59 degrees at kickoff. I'm taking the 0-5 team. Is this a trap game? I'm taking the 0-5 team. I'm taking the Giants here. First of all, Washington, say it with me now, Gascon. They are utter garbage. That is Washington. the team formerly known as the Redskins. It is a stunner. I still can't believe they beat the Eagles in that season opener. And watching this team play, I saw them play against the Rams, obviously, because I'm a Rams apologist. It looks like the players are speaking different languages than the coaches. It's fascinating to watch them play. Kyle Allen, who took over, and I'm not going to kill Ron Rivera for playing Kyle Allen because Dwayne Haskins deserved to be benched, but Kyle Allen is actually he played worse than Dwayne Haskins, if that's possible. He's got a bad shoulder. And Alex Smith, it's just amazing. He played, but when he played, he was brutal. He looked like a guy that should not be playing. He was terrible. But the key is Kyle Allen, who showed some pocket panic last week against Aaron Donald, because Aaron Donald was all over the place. Now, the Giants obviously do not have that big bell cow defensive player who's a behemoth. They don't have somebody like Aaron Donald. The Giants are not a great team. They're a terrible team. But the Giants have shown some signs of life. They were able to take advantage of a dog food Cowboys team defensively last week. They put up some points. They had a lead in that game. And, close, as they say, only counts in horseshoes. But I like this matchup against another tomato can in the team from D.C. The only thing that gives me pause is that the wise guys, the sharps, have been betting on Ron Rivera's Washington team. So I am betting on the dumb gambler, but I cannot bet on Washington based on what I have seen this season to win any games. And so I know they're an underdog, but 2.5 is not that much. I'm going to take the Giants, and I don't even think it's going to be close. I'm going to take the Giants 26, Washington 13, the final. And the penny picks.
Penny's going with the Washington football team in this one.
That's a bad job by the penny.
A little dangerous.
Mr. Luciano points out that Gascon looks bored out of his mind. Is that true, Gascon? Am I bothering you that you're so bored while you're doing this? Is that true?
I'm grateful. It's 9:47 Pacific, so this is right around my time to hit the hay. I usually don't stay up past 11 o'clock, and so some nights I'm subject to doing so.
So, all right. So you're saying I'm a narcissist, and I just want to make sure, in case you thought I wasn't a narcissist, I had to announce I am a narcissist and all that. So,
no, it's nothing of the sort. Nothing of the sort.
No, nothing of the sort. Is that right? Okay.
Listen, right. Any day that we can see where there's no pitching debacle in a Dodger playoff game is a pretty decent night. I'll say that much.
So does this mean I have to? What time's the Dodger game on Saturday night? It's going to be the late game, I would imagine. Again, right? I would assume.
No, actually tomorrow. No, it's afternoon time. So I think it's 3. It's either 3 or 5, and then Tampa's the nightcap.
Oh, Tampa's the late game. Okay.
Yeah, Tampa's the night. Man,
I got plans, Gascon. I get one day off. I got crap to do, man. I got to live my life.
I know, but people are probably checked in tomorrow or checked in tonight just to see if the Dodgers would lose and the Astros would win, because they knew you'd probably be a wreck.
Oh, listen, the people of Houston are so stupid. These morons think even if the Astros win the World Series, it doesn't change. They committed a war crime against Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
So the fact that you then went on and if they win the World Series, it doesn't change the neurosis that's going on among the Astro fan, Gascon, is embarrassing. I mean, It doesn't matter. It's like going out and killing 7 people and saying, I'm the greatest person in the world after that. Well, you still killed 7 people. You still did it. I mean, my God, what are you doing?
Yeah, but when you get immunity from the commissioner of baseball and then you can play victimhood on top of that, then what do you expect?
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, they were allowed to break the rules. And even this year, there's some stuff I know. I have some information I'm not allowed to talk about for reasons that will be in my book someday if I ever write that tell-all book. That Major League Baseball, I have very good reason to believe, continues to protect the Astros. And it was great, the guy in San Diego that has the megaphone that was shouting from his condo, because there's nothing Major League Baseball could do. Right? He's not on their property. They don't have any control over that, although I imagine they probably called the cops and tried to get the police to do something about it. But it was great. That's great sports fan hate.
Yeah, and in the Gaslamp
Astros.
I was just saying the Gaslamp district, that's easier said than done.
You got to understand, though, Gascon, when I worked in San Diego, that didn't really exist, the Gaslamp district, man.
Right.
That was not, that's a new invention. When I worked down there, that was a shithole. That part of San Diego, compared to what it has become over the last 30 years or whatever since I was down there. God, it's almost been 30 years since I was in San Diego. Anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it was like the mid 25. It's been 25 roughly. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a long time, man. All right. Next up for us, we've got Baltimore at Philadelphia. Baltimore and Philadelphia. Now, before we move on, I did see not Rob, that's Alf, the alien opiner.
Yeah.
Says Uncle Rob is the underboss. He says. Will says Ben is looking rather disinterested or disgusted this evening. I don't know what you're talking. Travis says the Astros are miserable cheaters. That's according to the United States Congress. No, it's the Senate. That was a senator from Nebraska. That's higher up. That's the higher wing of Congress there. A United States senator saying that. All right, here we go.
In the middle of a judicial review. That's great.
Yeah, for a Supreme Court justice. All right, Baltimore 4-1, Philadelphia 1-3-1. It's on CBS. And this is an Iron Eagle Charles Davis game. The Ravens opened a touchdown favorite. They are favored by 9. It's going to be mostly sunny, 62 degrees at kickoff at Lincoln Financial Field. And another one of these games where I tried to find an angle to take the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't like betting a touchdown or better favorite, but this is the second one. I'm going to take the big favorite here. I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens in this game. Baltimore has been a money printing machine against the slapdicks of the NFL, and the Philadelphia Eagles are a slapdick team. I don't care that they beat the 49ers and all that stuff. With Lamar Jackson, the Ravens are 8-0 straight up and 6-0-2 against the spread as a road favorite. Think about that. He's going to lose games as a road favorite. This will not be one of them. Jackson, when he's playing a team as incompetent as Philadelphia, he's like the United States Navy. He against these weak defenses, right? He can beat you by land, by air, and by sea if he has to. And that will certainly happen in this particular game. And Doug Peterson, this guy is treading along in mediocrity as coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are the definition of mediocrity on both sides of the ball. Philadelphia, how have they done as a home dog? They've actually been okay with Doug Peterson. They're 5-4 against the spread as a home dog. They've only been an underdog 9 times since Doug Peterson took over. Carson Wentz, here's the thing. He does not do well under pressure. Most quarterbacks don't do well under pressure. Baltimore's a defense that is going to be all up in his business here. So I believe that Wentz is going to be cannon fodder this weekend. I am going to take the Ravens 27 and Philadelphia Eagles 16, the final. And the Penny picks.
Penny is going that way too, going with the Baltimore Ravens in a blowout.
Blowout city. Blowout. All right. Very good. And we will press on here. And here we go. Cleveland 4-1 at Pittsburgh 4-0. This is a big game this weekend. How do we know it's a big game? Because CBS is sending Tony Romo and Jim Nantz, their A team, to call this game in the early television window. The Steelers, a 3.5-point favorite. They opened up as a 5-point favorite. So the Steelers a 3.5-point favorite. Mostly cloudy, 58 degrees at kickoff at Heinz Field. And I am going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game. A small favorite at home. Now, one of the reasons I'm taking the Steelers here, Baker Mayfield suffered a chest injury last week. Now, he's going to play, but how effective is Baker Mayfield going to be? And even when he's healthy, he's not been very good. In fact, you see that statistic. They have a stat for everything. But worst on-target rate among all quarterbacks in the NFL, Baker Mayfield is dead last in that category. Among any current starting quarterback, there were two players who had been ranked ahead of Baker Mayfield. They're Mitch Trubisky and Dwayne Haskins. Both of them have been benched. So that means that by default, Baker Mayfield is now the worst among all starting quarterbacks in on-target throws. Also, Odell Beckham, there's some issues there. He missed practice the other day. How will he play? How effective will he be? All those kind of questions. We're not sure. So the Steelers are 4-0. Now, the thing that gives me some pause here with Pittsburgh is this is their acid test, if you will. Their opponents have a combined record, Gascon, of 3-15-1. This is what's known as the hostess schedule. You've got the ding dong, you've got the apple pie, all of the tasty hostess dessert line that are here, the donuts, all of that.
The Twinkies?
Yeah, Twinkies are, of course, a big part of it as well. You're right. So they haven't played anybody. Now, Pittsburgh did adjust their offense. This got a lot of play this week. I don't know if you were keeping up on the Steelers, that Ben Roethlisberger, coming off an injury, is averaging just 4.7 completed air yards. That is the 5th lowest in the NFL. And the question is, can that style work? Is it sustainable? Can you continue to win with those short passes and not throwing the ball down the field? This is the same conversation we've had with Drew Brees and the Saints, and you figure eventually these type of teams end up getting exposed. Does it happen against the Browns, who are on the come, as they say in gambling? They are certainly on the come. I believe that the Steelers can figure out a way this week. I trust Mike Tomlin to get the last laugh against Kevin Stefanski, the greatest coach in Cleveland Browns history, Kevin Stefanski. The Steelers actually should be favored by more in this game when you look at the numbers. And Ben Roethlisberger, while he has to complete a lot of third downs, he has. In fact, he leads the NFL in third and fourth down combined conversions. He's got 38 of them. Steelers, 29, and the Browns, 20. Another 4-star Benny versus the Penny pick, Gascon, putting the 4-star on it right there. Boom.
Penny's going that way, too, going with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
There you go. All right, let me see what's going on in the chat.
People are just loving your furniture right now.
Why you got to judge me, man? What's wrong with that?
I'm not judging you. It's your people, man. It's your followers. It's your lapdogs.
Maybe this is my bonus room behind me. Maybe this is my extra room back there. How about that?
I would feel like your bonus room would have probably like a little fridge, a little grill, and maybe a little freezer so you could put like the frozen pizzas in and just pop them in the microwave.
I don't eat frozen pizza, jackass. I make a home fresh-made pie.
Who doesn't eat frozen pizza? You don't have like one of those nights? Oh, you're fucking lame.
Dude, listen. You know how easy it is. You can get it. If you don't even want to make the dough, and sometimes I don't make the dough, I'll buy the dough. You can go to Trader Joe's. You ever go to Trader Joe's?
Yes, of course.
You can get a packet of dough for like $2, a little container of tomato sauce for another $2 or whatever, and then you get some cheese, and bam, you got a pizza. And it tastes better than any frozen pizza you would ever have. Why would you buy a frozen pizza when for like $7 you can have a freshly made pizza, not from scratch, but pretty close to it?
You don't eat like the little pizza bagel bites or like the little pizza bites that come in those baggies?
Yeah, Scott, I don't eat. I was morbidly obese for the majority of my life. I've only recently got that under control a little bit. And you know my schedule because you send me food porn when I'm in the middle of a 65-hour fast, and you send me food porn like an asshole that you are. And that's like low on the list. Like up here, Gascon, is the I don't know how to screen the calls. Yes. But I'll produce Maller's show. Then I'm going to have Maller on his day off do a show where we send out the wrong link. So it's like an acid test to figure out whether or not you can watch the show live and things like. I mean, what are we doing?
Oh, I'm helping you age in reverse. It makes you feel young again. You can adapt on the go.
Late night drug tester says cooking with Uncle Ben. That's right.
Oh God.
I'm so pissed they got rid of that Uncle Ben, the rice, man. That was part of the Aunt Jemima thing. They got rid of all that stuff. I took pride in it. When I became an uncle many years ago. My niece is actually in college at a school in South Carolina, and I remember when she was born, I was like, I wanted to buy every box of Uncle Ben rice. I was so proud of the fact that I was Uncle Ben, just like the rice. I mean, but I guess that was a lot. Now, of course, the wokerati, you can't have that anymore.
You should buy. You could probably find one of those boxes like on Amazon now. They're probably marked up like 200 or 300% as a collectible one of these days, right?
Well, I told my wife, I said, when all that was going down this year, I said, we got to go to the store. I need some Aunt Jemima syrup. I need Eskimo pies. I need Uncle Ben's rice. What other products did they get rid of? There were a bunch of them, right? They changed the names, and it was like every day early on in the apocalypse, they were changing the names of products, which I think, Gascon, will make the world a better place, clearly, unless it doesn't.
We get products first, and then we'll probably get holidays. Like, what holiday goes first, though?
Oh, well, Columbus Day, right? They got rid of Columbus Day. They've already attacked Columbus Day.
So
right?
do you do Columbus Day followed by Thanksgiving?
No.
4th of July?
Yeah, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, of course, because the evil people came over and stole the land after they had a nice dinner. So that has to be it, right? Thanksgiving? No?
This is I don't know. That's tough. We could do that, or we can go like Christmas and Easter. That's a pretty good combination too.
Well, I thought their whole argument is you're not supposed to be thankful for anything. Like you should feel shame for everything. Isn't that the argument that's popular these days?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't know. You took this on the third rail.
All right. You brought it up. I didn't bring it up. I mean,
Houston and Tennessee. That's what we got next.
Travis says California doesn't tax enough for good infrastructure. You can't blame Ben for that.
That's true.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. There's hardly any tax rate. All right. Houston and Tennessee. It's on CBS with Greg Gumbel and Rich Gannon. They have the call. Now, the Titans opened up a 5.5-point favorite. This game's at 3.5 right now at Nissan Stadium. Cloudy and 64 degrees in Nashville on Sunday. I'm going to take the Titans in this game now. First of all, Romeo Crennel, the oldest coach in the NFL, had a very soft launch. It's like when you open up a restaurant.
Yeah.
You announce when the restaurant's going to open, but you actually open it 3 days earlier just so everyone knows what they're doing, and you don't announce it. That was a soft launch against a banged-up Jacksonville team. Now it gets much tougher. The degree of difficulty obviously goes up here against the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee just played on Tuesday, and now they have that quick turnaround on Sunday afternoon. But that doesn't seem to matter. Deshaun Watson, I believe, is in for a long afternoon here. His internal clock, this has been my big argument against that clown Deshaun Watson, who's so soft. He blocked me on Twitter so many years ago, but he does not get rid of the ball when he's supposed to. He gets sacked way too many times. He also turns the ball over with fumbles and just poorly designed offensive plays, poorly executed offensive plays quite a bit. Secondly, listen, the Titans are tied for the NFL's best record against the spread with rest disadvantage. Okay, with rest disadvantage. They actually had a big rest advantage against Buffalo, and they used that. Now, what have they done at a disadvantage? Since Mike Vrabel took over back in 2018 in Tennessee, the Titans have had a dominant run. They have gone 5-2 against the spread in that situation where they have a rest disadvantage. I love Tennessee in this game. The only thing that scares me is the sandwich factor. You always try to avoid those sandwich games. They had a primetime win against Buffalo on a Tuesday, and they play the Steelers next week. That's going to be another one of those games where people are all jonesed up for it. The Texans are, even though they're a divisional opponent, they're not good. They're not going to the playoffs, Houston, this season. So despite all that, my concerns, remember to bet on the Titans. I'm going to take Tennessee 34, Houston 20, the final.
Penny going the opposite way, going with the Houston Texans in this one.
Queen Roxanne says, at least we know the Texans are not cheating. Will points out that Gascon's move with the ladies is called the soft launch. Is that true, Gascon? Is that?
It's called foreplay. I don't know if he knows anything about that. I don't know if he knows anything about women, but it's fine. I'm not here to judge.
Wow. Mike writes in. He says, I told you for years that Ryan effing Tannehill was a franchise quarterback, and you mocked me, Maller. Bad job by you. Yeah, Dolphin Mike, how'd that work out in Miami? Okay, and he's not even a franchise quarterback. Let's cool your jets, Dolphin Mike. Cool your jets, okay? Because remember in the playoffs last year when Ryan Tannehill got to the AFC Championship game? You know what he was? A decoy. Yeah. He was a decoy in those playoff games. And when they needed him to bail them out, he couldn't bail them out. So that's not a franchise. Listen, the guy's played better than I expected in Tennessee. And he looks like one of those guys that's a good regular season quarterback. But you can't really trust him when you get down to the playoffs, and you're going to have to win other ways. And occasionally those guys will win a Super Bowl. But no, it's crazy. All right. We have another question?
Let's get trivia.
All right, let's get trivial, made possible in part by our partnership with Fanatics. We'll tell you more about that in a second as we read the question, but it's not going to sound like you're reading, right, Gascon? Try to show some energy here. Make this like you're doing a cheese ball commercial, which you do quite a bit. And I am going to have some water here.
That is nothing the case, though. But this quarterback has 9 touchdowns through the first 4 games, tying Warren Moon's franchise record. Who am I? That is the question. What is the answer? Dodgers win game 5 of the NLCS, 7-3. There will be a game 6 tomorrow.
I saw that. Well, good. I hope they win. I'd still get rid of Kershaw. I wouldn't pitch Kershaw again. I hope they come back and win and they deactivate Kershaw. That would be wonderful, right?
Deactivate a guy? Just turn him into Michael Thomas?
Hey, he can't pitch anymore. That's it. Shut him down. Shut her down.
Anyways.
Am I evil, Gascon?
Yes.
Evil? All right, listen.
This question.
The question's made possible by Fanatics. You see this hat right here? You can get a hat just like it on Fanatics. Actually, probably get something better than this. They got everything. It's not just hats. They got all kinds of stuff. Our buddy Robbie, the Mariner fan, he was able to find a Josh Allen autographed shirt. We had, was it Pierre, the great opiner, who got a sweatshirt on there as well. And so we thank you guys. This is not, this bears repeating here. This is not a network production. Obviously, Gascon sent out the wrong link. So it's not that at all. It's just us goofing around on a Friday, either afternoon or Friday evening. So we don't make any money from it. Not that you care about that, but you can help us out if you're enjoying the content on Fanatics. And there's a link right there. All the latest sports apparel, great premium prices. So click on that link in the description box. And if you're planning on buying something, you know that's great. Do it. Buy it. And it doesn't cost you any money. I promise you, Fanatics will not charge you a higher rate because of this. You'll pay the same great price, but then we get a little taste. So that's pretty good, right? Yeah.
It's pretty decent.
I think.
Yes. Way to sell it. Way to sell it. What are some of the answers you're getting? David Carr's one of them.
All right, I see that. Pierre says, size 8 hat, Ben. What size shirt? Well, Gascon, I've actually gone down, and Alf, the alien opiner, I've gone down to like a XL tall, but I still feel more comfortable in 2XL tall. But I fit because it's kind of a lean, like tight, not tight fit.
Yeah.
But I feel more comfortable when it's a little baggy because that way I have a little wiggle room when I get fat again. But so it's got to be, I'm a tall guy, so that's the problem with the T-shirt. Captain Howdy says the answer is Ryan Tannehill. Bella the dog. How about this, Gascon? Bella is on YouTube. Bella the dog's going with Coop de Loop. Rob in Vegas says Spike Dudley is the correct answer. Tornado Freaks. I'm seeing some new names here. This is good. Titanic Tanny is the answer. Dante Beef Brisket from Mike. Don Galt, tossed out by Brian. Who else do we have? David Carr from Robert. That's his guest. Tapped in Tommy. These are legends of the show here. This is a party for the P1s. Tapped in Tommy's going with Dan Pastorini. These are some brigadier generals in the Maller Militia, Gascon. All right. What is the answer here? Please, I reveal answers, real answers.
The revealing answer is Ryan Tannehill of the Tennessee Titans is your answer.
So Ryan Tannehill. See, what I would have done, Gascon, is I would have changed that. See, that's a bad job for you. The more interesting answer would have been Warren Moon. So I know you're not really good at this stuff, but that would have been the way to go. Like, say, would have said, if you had said, quarterback Ryan Tannehill has 9 touchdown passes through the first 4 games, tying Blank's franchise record, that would have been a better question. The way you did it, you made it as softball as possible. You put it on a tee, Gascon. Bad job by you. The fun name there is Warren Moon, because I think that's bullshit that the Tennessee Titans take the Houston Oilers records. I think that's crap. In fact, I believe that the team called the Texans should be called the Oilers, and they should have taken, much like they did in Cleveland when the Browns left to Baltimore, and then they came back and they kept the old records. So I think it's crap. I don't consider any of those, just like I don't consider the Montreal Expos part of the Washington Nationals. I don't. Or the Minneapolis Lakers part of the LA Lakers. It's the same thing. It's bullshit. So anyway. All right,
are you ready? Are you done complaining about the way I format my questions?
Well, no, I mean, I can't believe you would choose that answer. I mean, or to phrase it that way. I mean, my God. All right, anyway, we'll move on. I'll get over it, Jessica.
Speaking of trust, the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins.
All right, so the Jets are 0-5. Miami is 2-3. It's on CBS. Andrew Catalan and James Lofton have the call in this game. It's going to be a little bit Miami, as it typically is this time of the year. 81 degrees at kickoff at Hard Rock Stadium with fans in attendance. I am going to take the Miami Dolphins as a 9.5-point favorite. I'm going to break another one of my golden rules as a gambler, which is in a divisional game, anytime you get a touchdown or more, you always take the touchdown or more with the underdog. But this is the exception to the rule here, Gascon. It's the first time the Dolphins, check this out, first time the Dolphins have been favored at home since Brian Flores took over as coach in 2019. They had not been favored in any of their home games. Miami, this is the right side here. They should be licking their chops. They can actually get back to 500. The Miami Dolphins can be a 500 team after 6 games if they win this weekend, and they should, because they're playing the worst team in football. Jets suck. The Jets have yet to cover the spread so far this season. Jump ball Joe Flacco will be getting his second straight start at quarterback for New York in place of the injured Sam Darnold, and Adam Gase continues to hold on to this job. Why? Because the Jets know he's the easiest path to get Trevor Lawrence. Just leave Adam Gase alone, and you will end up with Trevor Lawrence as your coach. But he's hanging on by his fingernails. They just got rid of Le'Veon Bell this week. Guy pretty popular, even though he stunk, pretty popular in the Jets locker room. So he's out of there, and you get rid of him. And now, how does that affect team? Does it really matter? The Jets are a bad team, whether they like each other or they hate each other. And I saw some statistics that were pretty interesting here, that Joe Flacco, 30 years old, and you've got Frank Gore, age 37, as the running back. So you got the over 35 guys playing key roles. But back in his Baltimore days, Joe Flacco, 7-0 in his career against Miami. He has never lost to the Miami Dolphins until this Sunday, when he does lose, and this game will not even be close. Dolphins 35 and the Jets 10, your final. The Penny picks.
First time you've done it in a while. Penny's also going with the Miami Dolphins.
All right. I see your granny is on YouTube there. Gascon's granny says David is such a good boy. Is that true, Gascon? Is your grandmother on YouTube? It says Gascon's granny.
It'd be
right
pretty
there.
remarkable if she was, but no, she is not.
Yeah. All right. I see Dolphin Mike there picking the Dolphins. Hard to believe. All right. Next up, Green Bay at Tampa Bay.
Green Bay 4-0.
Yes.
I did see Lee was on there and he typed cat correctly. I did see that. That's a good job.
Yeah, how nice of you to acknowledge our buddy Lee in Phoenix.
Lee,
one of the hardest working guys here. You wouldn't know about work ethic, Gascon, west of the 405. That guy Lee busts his ass.
Yeah, Lee spelt cat correctly. That's a good job by him. Anyways, I digress. Let's go. What do we got?
Oh, by the way, your granny says, hey, David, please come visit me this weekend. Can you visit your grandmother?
I can't. I'll be working at Fox.
Oh, you will be?
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting there. Jonathan says, I agree with you, Ben. The Tannehill answer was pretty easy. Yeah, I mean, come on, Gascon. There's a certain standard.
There's a certain standard. That is assuming, one, that these people can read, and two, that they can understand the question. Those you can't assume.
I'm gonna send you my book, Sports Media for Idiots. You can read my book and learn how to handle this situation. All right. So Green Bay and Tampa Bay, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on Fox have the call. The Packers a 1-point favorite. They opened up a 2.5-point favorite. Partly sunny, 86 degrees at kickoff at Raymond James Stadium. I am going to take Tampa Bay in this game. I believe the Green Bay Magic Ride takes a pause this week. Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady. They've only played twice. Did you know that? They've only played twice. This is the third matchup, and these guys have been around for the last 20 years. Well, Brady has. Rodgers has been around for like the last 15 years or so. And Rodgers has been perfect so far this season. He has been the perfect quarterback as far as the lack of mistakes and all that. Now he goes against a Buccaneers defense, which statistically is the second best defense behind Indianapolis in the NFL. So this is a better matchup. Now, the thing about the Buccaneers, we'll get to this in a minute, is they are a mistake-prone team, meaning that they have a lot of penalties. There's a lot of self-inflicted wounds there, as we saw in the game against Chicago. The Packers have been the NFL's third-best team in non-divisional games over the last 5 years. They've got a .597 winning percentage. Now, I'm old school. I remember when the Buccaneers and the Packers were in the same division a long time. You remember that a long time ago, Gascon?
Long time ago.
In the same division. Yeah, Green Bay is 4-0 against the spread, and they're the only undefeated team left in the NFL that has yet to lose a game against the number, but that will happen here. The Buccaneers, as we said, a sloppy team under Bruce Arians. They had 14 stalled drives because of significant penalties. That is the second highest total in the entire NFL. You cannot win consistently playing this style of football. You certainly can't win a Super Bowl playing that undisciplined style of football. So they have to clean up their act. Are they able to clean up the act? That's an open question. But I'm going to take the Buccaneers in a low-scoring, classical matchup where Tom Brady this time remembers how many downs there are and leads the Buccaneers down the field for a fourth-quarter game-winning drive via the field goal. It's a feel-good story for TB12 as he gets back on track with a win. Buccaneers 24 and the Green Bay Packers 23.
Short line on this. The penny is going with the Green Bay Packers in this one. Oh, my.
Who do we have here? Bella the dog says, please grill the freezer burned tomahawk steak this weekend.
Yeah, someone was asking me about that today. Like I don't understand why you wouldn't barbecue it. You got it in March, and it was a gift. It wasn't a collectible. It was a consumable. It was a consumable, and yet you have not touched the damn thing outside of taking it out and showboating it on our first episode here in 2020.
Well, I actually did that on Cameo. I got a Cameo request from, I think it was it Jay Scoop? I think it was Jay Scoop in Seattle. And so I pulled out the tomahawk steak for Jay Scoop. I did do that. My deal is every time you mention the tomahawk steak, I wait another 2 or 3 weeks to before I would even consider cooking. Just keep bringing it up. I'll never make it. Yeah. That's how it's going to work. Late night drug tester says Ben will grill the tomahawk like the Dodgers did to the Atlanta Braves. Good line there. Lee says, I feel important that Gascon needs to mention my name. That's right, Lee. You are taking up space rent-free in Gascon's head. Think about that. You are affecting his mind,
yes.
His little west of the 405 mind. You are affecting him. So, all right. Moving on here, Gascon. The Sunday night game, the Rams. You can ram it all day. You can ram it all night, as we're doing right here. The Rams 4-1 and Santa Clara 2-3. And this game, Sunday night, it's on NBC. Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth. Al is loving all these West Coast games. He can leave his home in Brentwood, go to LAX, and he's boom up in the Bay Area in an hour, and then he's back an hour after the game or 2 hours after the game. Now, the Rams are 3.5-point favorite, which scares me a little bit at Levi's Stadium. It's going to be sunny, 76 degrees in Santa Clara at kickoff on Sunday night. The 49ers absolutely taken to the woodshed by Philadelphia last week, or actually by the Miami Dolphins rather last week. They didn't play well against Philadelphia either. I'm going to take the Rams in this game. 49ers are 2-0 at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. They are 0-3 in their home ballpark. And so what's up with that? Santa Clara as a home dog, first time the 49ers have been an underdog at home since the 2018 season. So they went all of 2019 and the first part of this year without being an underdog at home. Jimmy Garoppolo, who was benched, this guy got benched against the Dolphins. He should be back at quarterback for the Niners. San Francisco at home. Not only have they not won a game, they're obviously 0-3 against the spread because they've been underdogs, or they've been favorites rather, in all those games. Now, secondly, Sean McVay, this guy, boy wonder, is back for the Rams. Everyone was killing this guy last year. The Rams had an average season a year ago, but Sean McVay has gone into his workshop there, the Warlock, and has put a spell on Jared Goff. And not just Jared Goff, the Rams have been good on both sides of the ball. I love the quick strike offense. Jared Goff, the key to coaching is you have to find out what your players' limitations are and make sure they do not fall into that trap, right? Go play to your strength. And Jared Goff, when he gets rid of the ball quickly and doesn't think about it too much, and he's been very effective, very, very effective. He's averaging an NFL low 5.9 average intended air yards. But despite that, Jared Goff is the 6th ranked quarterback in the NFL as we talk here in real time. Goff has a 70% completion rate in 3 consecutive road games now. That is the second longest streak in Ram history. You got to go back to a St. Louis player by the name of Kurt Warner, the greatest show on turf, that went 5 games in a row. And since Sean McVay took over in 2017, the Rams, as a road favorite, are 12-8. That's a 600 winning percentage. But it's even better since the beginning of last year. The Rams are 5-2. That's a 714 winning percentage in spots like this where they're favored on the road. The Rams also, who were supposed to have no running game because they got rid of Todd Gurley, he went to Atlanta, and they had a bunch of guys that were flotsam and jetsam at the running back position. The Rams have 698 yards on the ground this season. That is the most through the first 5 games since the 1987 LA Rams. I think that was Greg Bell. I believe Eric Dickerson, I think he was gone by then. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that was Greg Bell and that era of the old LA Rams back in the day. Either way, it doesn't matter. The Rams will win this game. It'll be close for a while, but I'm going to take the Rams to pull away, win by a touchdown. Rams 27 and the 49ers 20 in the Sunday night game with Al Michaels.
Penny's also going with Los Angeles Rams in this one.
Mike writes in, he says, keep Mallard great. Mallard 2020. Yeah, I missed out on that, I guess. I should have had some T-shirts printed up. You know, Mallard like those. I see a lot of guys are doing that. Those cute little T-shirts and signs, Mallard 2020 or whoever you are.
The reality is this year, if you're going to do anything, you should have done a mask. You should have had a mask that said like Mallard 2020 or something like that. I mean,
or just Mallard Militia. I don't know. I feel like, the whole. It's like these sports teams that I was at Walmart.
The cardboard cutouts.
Yeah, it's a little much. Well, not just the cardboard cutouts, but like immediately. I understand it's business. You're trying to make a couple of bucks, but it's like, even these masks are overpriced. Like if you want to get a team branded mask, it's a freaking mask, It's like, well, this mask, because it has this logo on it, it's $20. I'm like, oh my God.
And the worst thing is they tell us to use the mask once and then never use it again. So the idea of wearing the mask and then reusing it actually defeats the purpose of having said mask.
Oh, I've used the same mask since April.
Yeah.
So, right? You have too. Come on, don't lie.
Yeah, I got a bunch of them.
I got 2 masks. I have my gator over here. I have you can see that. I have a gator right there. You see that? There?
Oh yeah. That looks like I don't know. It looks like diapers.
Well, I know you wear diapers, but it's you.
That's the.
It's not a diaper.
It's a Mallard specialty, right?
Let's see here. Pierre, aka Alf, the alien opponent, wants some Mallard merchandise. Yeah, Alf, I've done that before. I've had some merchandise. I have a few things that we've picked up over the years. And
what's the most lucrative?
The thing about this is I've noticed. I had a guy, a buddy of mine, who made T-shirts, and he wanted to partner with me. So I was like, all right, whatever. And then I wanted to make a high-quality T-shirt because I wanted it to last. I didn't want to make a shitty shirt.
Yeah.
And these guys complained, they bitched and moaned the shirt was too expensive. But then when you make a cheap quality shirt, people complain because you wash it once and then it shrinks or the ink comes out of it.
Yeah.
But I love the hat that, I don't think it was Jay Scoop that had it made, but the one we wore at the Mallard Man March in Seattle, it's just a basic black hat with white writing that said Mallard Man March. That was a good looking hat. Popped. Like, I don't need all the bells and whistles. Like, would people buy Mallard Militia hats? That's the question. I don't have the answer. I do not have the answer, but that's an interesting question.
Would you have a special logo or decal on the side?
What's that?
Would you have a special decal on the side, like a signature tag on the side?
No, because that would cost more in production. So that would. Mallard's Manhood writes in, says, I'm the only thing being milked, is with Mallard's Man. So we have your granny and you have my manhood that are in there. Lee's upset. He says, let's go to the Monday night game, he says.
All right, we got to get trivial.
Robin Vegas says, what's the status of the bull balls consumption? You seem to be milking it, not wanting to pay off your wages. Well, that's weird. Really my wife. Let me explain something here. So my wife would like me to eat bull testicles. My wife also makes plans every weekend. As you know, I only have one real day off on Saturday because I've got this on Friday, and then on Sunday we have the show. So, and I got to watch football all day on Sunday. So I did go to two grocery stores in Los Angeles here to get bull testicles. I went to the butcher shop. They didn't have them. We had a caller and a couple of other people have said I need to go to a Mexican market, that apparently our brothers and sisters in the Mexican community enjoy eating bull testicles. I have not done that, but my wife is going to have me consume them. We will make a video. We'll put it on Twitter and all that stuff. And
you guys,
I know you really want me to eat the bull balls, Rob, but it's going to happen.
You guys should come down to Wilmington or Carson. There's probably some Mexican spots down there that you can get into.
That's too close to the 405 freeway. I don't want to go down there.
That's
all right,
very
we have
blue
another
collar
question.
We do. Last one of the night.
All right, here we go. Let's get trivial made possible by our friends at Fanatics, as I'm going to wet my beak yet again. But hopefully Gascon will not F this question up. This is actually one I don't think you can F up, Gascon. I think this is pretty self-explanatory if you do it the right way, but we'll see what you come up with. Here we go.
Anyways, I'm the only player in NFL history to win the NFL Player of the Week for 5 different teams. Who the hell am I?
All right, that is the question. It's made possible by Fanatics. And if you're new, I see some new people who are coming in. And you guys remember, thumbs up, just like that, helps us out on the YouTube. And so the thing about this, these questions powered by Fanatics, we have partnered with Fanatics. And so if you're planning on buying something, right, you're planning on buying something sports related, sports merchandise related, then just go on the Fanatics website through that link. You see the link right there in the description box, and we get a little credit. They don't charge you more. They don't say, hey, because you're buying something, we're going to charge you an extra 10%. That does not happen. It's the same price, but we get a little taste. They give us a little taste of it, so it helps us out a little bit, because this is not a big network production. We are not under the umbrella of Fox or anybody else. We would love to be, by the way, if someone wants to pay us. We would love to put this on one of those other big platforms, but this is just a little mom and pop operation. So Fanatics, check it out, help us out there. And if you don't need anything right now, I totally get it. But when you want to buy a hat or a shirt or an autographed picture or socks, who doesn't need socks? They have socks on Fanatics, right? You can get
always
socks
necessary too. Ankle socks, you get the shin socks and the knee-high ones. Yes, of course. Old school Michael Thompson,
all right? Some of the guests is coming in here.
Taco Wallace, that's a good
says
one.
Matt Schaub is the answer. Who else do we have? Alf the Alien Opiner says, do not throw Mrs. Maller under the bus. No, I'm not throwing her under the bus. I'm just telling you, my wife, if it was up to me, I would be like, all right, it's been long enough. People forgot about it. I don't have to eat the damn thing. But my wife's like, no, you got to do it. And so there you go. Funky Flashman says Captain Lou Albano is the answer. Lee, the man that is taking up space rent-free in Gascon's head, says Jerry Rice. Chris is going with Dirty Diaper Dan Marino. Who else do we have? Alf the Alien Opiner says SD Special Delivery Jones. Ryan Leaf, guessed by the late night drug tester. Who else do we have? Billy White Shoes Johnson. That's a good answer there by Rich the Ram fan. You know what Billy White Shoes Johnson's claim to fame is, right? You know what his claim to fame is? Guess
no. Well, obviously white shoes. What is it?
Well, no, he was like the originator of the end zone touchdown dance.
Yeah.
He was the OG. He was the godfather of the touchdown dance. Who else do we have? Let's see. Norman Esiason, guessed by Captain Howdy. That's his answer. Lee also says he will park better than Gagon. Steven says, I think that's Randy Moss, but he never did anything with the Raiders. He says, who else did I say Sam Heward? That was guessed by Robert. That's his answer. Who else do we have? Page down here, page down. All right, do you have the answer, Gascon? Do you have the answer?
I do have the answer, and shockingly enough, it was mentioned earlier during the show. It is none other than the Ryan Fitzpatrick of your Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick, who I demand be benched because I want to see Tua Tagovailoa play with Miami. Yeah. But Ryan Tannehill, he was the player of the week for the St. Louis Rams in 2005. Then 9 years later, he was the player of the week for the Houston Texans. And then 2 years later, or a year later and a year after that, he was with the Jets. He was player of the week twice. He went to Tampa Bay when he did the Conor McGregor lookalike thing, and he was player of the week in 2018, and now with the Miami Dolphins as well, he's been the player of the week. I think he's been the player of the week a couple of times in Miami, but Ryan Fitzpatrick, the only player in the history of the NFL to be a player of the week with 5 different teams. And so with that, we move on, and we're getting near the very end here. Don't forget Penny versus the Penny.
And don't forget, thumbs up, please. Rate the show. Yes. You can comment on it at any given time, but you guys can rate it, thumbs up, and also subscribe. Hit the subscribe button at the bottom. It also gives you a notification, too, so if you want to hit that sucker, every Friday we'll have the show live. And, of course, you can watch on demand. We will repost this with the accurate link on Saturday, of course, Sunday morning just before kickoff for all the games in week number 6.
Yeah,
Are you disappointed
also,
we didn't – What's that? I was going to say, were you disappointed we didn't get no Thursday night games this week?
Yes. I want football there's going to be no basketball, obviously, now. And they're talking about starting in late January, the NBA, or mid-January. There's no hockey they might not be any hockey next season.
Yeah.
So why not spread out the football? Yeah. Have a game Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You can take Friday off if you want. Why not? But in addition to subscribing to the podcast, word of mouth advertising. We work in the advertising business on radio, and we love all our sponsors. We've been doing commercials for the Breeders' Cup on the overnight show, and Farmers Insurance, and all these big companies that spend time and money on our show. We're very grateful for them. But the most effective advertising is word of mouth. And remember the story I told? Was it last week on the podcast, Gascon, where I had a woman that I dated like twice years ago.
Yeah.
And I had lost contact with her. Obviously, he's not dating her. But she is in Colorado, and she contacted me out of the blue because she went on a date with a guy, and they were talking, making small talk about what they listened to, like what podcast they listened to. Yeah. And this guy in Denver said the Maller Show. She's like, wait a minute, I know that guy. I was like, yeah.
I was thinking about that as soon as you mentioned it. Where do you think that ranks compared to one of your fans that nearly got arrested, and the officers that pulled up next to his truck were actually listening to the podcast with us on there?
Oh, that was pretty good. Yeah, that was. I remember that. That was a great story, right? There was a beef at a major. Was it a Costco or something like that? I forget the store.
We couldn't say the city, but yeah, it was like a major grocery store, and he got into a scuffle with someone else, a customer. I think it was over a mask, right?
Yeah, it was somebody didn't wear a mask because they had a health problem, and then somebody else was. No, it was a kid, right? Wasn't there a kid involved? And somebody was harassing the kid because the kid didn't have a mask on, and so this guy was the father, and he got into it, and they called the cops, and he was freaking out because what he did could have put him in jail, and then the cop was very nice and was a fan of our work, so that was pretty cool, and was verified. He emailed me and verified the situation. Obviously, can't say any names, but that was really cool. So word of mouth advertising, man, I'm telling you, that's the only ad budget I've had. I've been able to squeeze past the odds here and stay on the radio for a lot of time over the years here, mainly because of that. Like you're never going to see a billboard for the Ben Maller Show. You will see a billboard for Colin Cowherd and Clay Travis and people like that, but not for our show.
Yeah.
The overnight show, there's no billboard there. Although we do have Moving Man Matt from Boston, who has the moving billboard on his big rig when he drives across the country, and he's got Maller Militia on there when he goes all the way from Boston to the West Coast moving people. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool. And you also have like a producer that kind of provides you content nonstop. No compensation, no compliments, just scars and wounds and
I'm a guy that doesn't want to screen the calls. Jonathan says, who is the person whose brother was arrested for murder? Yes, several people pointing out Doc Mike. Were you there that night when Doc Mike revealed that his brother? No, Doc Mike's brother was arrested for murder.
Yeah, you told me that. You told me that on the podcast, though.
Yeah. Doc, his brother, I guess, was in a biker gang or something like that. And,
man.
Yeah. Doc's moving to California for a few months.
Great.
I'll hook you up with him.
Maybe you can live next to the governor's mansion.
We should go out to lunch with Doc Mike and record a podcast with him.
No, we shouldn't.
Why not? It would be so much fun. Come on.
Because he's gonna make you. Great. He's gonna beg you to drink urine first of all.
Well, he'll do that, but Doc's amazing, man. I met him in Kansas City years ago at a Maller meet and greet we did in Kansas City. It was awesome. Yeah. He is such a character. Although I thought he was going to kill me because at the end of the night, I was with my wife. We were just dating at the time. We weren't married. We were just still in the feeling out process. And so she happened to be with me on the trip to Kansas City. And after the night ended, we walked out of the bar that had the Ben Maller chicken fingers named after me. It was kind of a nice summer night there in Kansas City, which means it was oppressively humid and hot. And, we're we're going to our rental car, and Doc's like, hey, I want to show you something. So he shows me his car, which has sirens on it, and it says emergency vehicle, even though he's not a part of the fire department or the police.
Yeah.
And then he says, I want to give you something. Now it's kind of like a dark street in Kansas City. And he goes to his car, the front of his car, he pulls out a screwdriver, right? He's got a screwdriver, and he gives me this kind of glassed over look. I got something for you, right? He's holding a screwdriver. Then he proceeds to walk to the back of his car, and no, it was the front of the car. It was the front of his car. And he took off his license plate and gave me his Doc Mike license plate, of course, after he autographed it. But that was my Doc Mike experience back in the day.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
All right, are we ready to move on? Yes? All
let's carry on over to Monday night.
All right, Monday Night Football. It is a doubleheader on Monday night. The early game, Kansas City. Kansas City at Buffalo. It is on Fox. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman calling Monday Night Football. How about that? Sunday and Monday. And I don't think they're actually doing a game on Sunday, though, right? I think this is their only game. I don't think they're doing a game on Sunday. But here's the deal. Kansas City 4-1. Actually, they are, right? Wait, hold on. Let me go back. They're doing they're doing the Green Bay Tampa game.
Yeah.
So they'll go from Tampa to Buffalo. And that means if the Dodgers go to Game 7, Joe Buck will not be calling Game 7 of the NLCS. Somebody else will be calling Game 7. Anyway, Kansas City 4-1 at Buffalo 4-1. It's on Fox, as we said. The Chiefs, a 5-point favorite in this game. Kansas City, a 5-point favorite. Partly sunny, 50 degrees at kickoff at the Buffalo Bills Stadium there in beautiful Buffalo, right across from the Canadian border, just a short drive away there, and Niagara Falls. You ever been to Niagara Falls?
Never been.
You got to go. I love Niagara Falls. That was my first trip to Canada when I crossed the border, and that was it. I spent like 7 hours in Canada. Not even 7 hours. It was probably less than that, but that was a long time ago.
What time of the year was it?
I went to a Bills game. Their Bills were playing the Titans, but it was early in the season.
Oh, okay.
I want to say it was like September. It was like the first month of the season, so I think it was like September.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm taking Buffalo in this game. Josh Allen had a stinker. I ripped him. I'm still not convinced that the Buffalo Bills are real Super Bowl contenders. I think they're still more pretenders. But this game, if they win this game, and I think they will, I'm picking them. Getting a few points here to keep it close, that will change the needle, move the needle back in their favor. This is a good bounce back game for Buffalo. They were undisciplined. They were sloppy in a lot of ways. They converted third downs very efficiently, but there's a lot of mistakes, turnovers, and whatnot. And we gave the stat the other day, but it's crazy. Josh Allen has been Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. His first 32 NFL games, he had multiple personalities. The first 16 games, he had 13 passing touchdowns, 18 interceptions. In his past 16 games prior to Tuesday, 29 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. And then he just gave the ball away a couple of times against the Tennessee Titans in that last game. So I expect a tighter performance here from Josh Allen and a tighter performance by the Bills all the way around. Now, Kansas City, how have they done in spots like this as a road favorite? The Chiefs are 6-5 against the spread with Patrick Mahomes since he took over as the starter. Josh Allen's Bills, as a home underdog, are 3-5 against the spread. So that trend would tell you to take Kansas City. I'm taking Buffalo. Kansas City's without Sammy Watkins. The Chiefs have been straight cash homey on Monday night. They're 7-1-1 against the spread. Andy Reid 4-0-1 against the spread since Patrick Mahomes came over on Monday night. But I'm taking the Bills here. I got a feeling the Bills are actually going to win this game outright. They're getting 5 points. That is an inflated line. Even if the Bills don't win, they will cover the spread. This is going to be within that 5-point margin of error. So I will take the points here, and I will go with the Buffalo Bills. Here we go, Buffalo. Here we go. Bills 30, Chiefs 27.
And Penny's got Payne's going with the Kansas City Chiefs in this one.
All right, Chris says, please wrap it up. Holy hell, it's not a damn movie. See that, Gascon? We're providing an hour. What are we at? An hour and 45 minutes of commercial-free content for the most part here.
It's good. Hour and 45 minutes is not bad.
Funky Flashman says he's got to take a dump.
Oh,
all right, last game, Gascon. Here we go. Arizona at Dallas. It's on ESPN. Steve Levy, Brian Griese, and Louis Riddick have the call. The Cardinals, a 1.5-point favorite on the road. The Cowboys, a 3-point favorite originally. Then Dak Prescott got hurt, so the line went all the way. A 4.5-point line move in favor of the road team, Arizona. Partly cloudy, 75 degrees at kickoff at AT&T Stadium in Jerry's World. I am going to take the Cowboys in this game. I am betting on Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton takes over. He's the seasoned veteran. He's been a Pro Bowl quarterback with the Cincinnati Bengals. Lots of toys to play with. The Maller theory, and I said this before the season, I believe the Cowboys offense will be fine with Andy Dalton and with Dak. If Dak Prescott doesn't play, I didn't think he was going to miss the entire year and get hurt and all that when we said that. But most quarterbacks get hurt and miss 1 or 2 games typically. I like the Cowboy offense to not miss a beat with Andy Dalton taking over. We'll see if they shift to more of a running game. I don't think they are. Zeke Elliott does lead the league in touches inside the red zone. He's been the go-to guy down near the goal line, inside the 10-yard line, also inside the 5-yard line. Zeke Elliott leads the NFL in all those categories as far as touches. Cowboys have been the NFL's worst bet in non-divisional games. Last 5 years, the Dallas Cowboys have a .389 winning percentage in non-divisional games. So I'm going against that trend here. I just don't like the Arizona makeup. I know they beat up the Jets last week. Arizona should not be favored in this game, even as a 1.5-point favorite, which is not much. The Cardinals are a much too undisciplined team. The NFL, we gave this stat earlier, the NFL keeps a statistic called stalled drives. We told you that Tampa Bay was number 2 in the NFL, and stalled drives because of penalties. You know who's number 1? That would be Arizona. Arizona leads the NFL. They've had 15 offensive drives stalled because of self-inflicted wounds. So look for the Dallas Cowboys. Even though they've got that crappy defense, they're crapola on defense, and I'm not certainly betting on the Cowboy defense. I believe that Andy Dalton, the overreaction machine, on Monday, or actually Tuesday, because this game's on Monday, Tuesday will be, the Cowboys, Andy Dalton's the quarterback of the future. They don't need Dak Prescott. They can let Dak Prescott leave and keep Andy Dalton. Cowboys 32, Arizona 26. And the Penny picks.
Penny's going with the Redbirds in this one. Man, they're 1-7 in their last 8 Monday Night Football games, and I agree with you. I don't know how the hell they're favored in this ball game.
I don't get that at all. Late night drug testers is up next. Jonas Knox.
Yeah, we're a perfect lead-in for him.
That's right. We should do another 10 minutes, and then we can turn it off and go right to Gascon. Lee in Arizona says, did you see Tony Gonzalez? Still the nickname Mike Mouse from you, Ben. I don't know. I don't understand that one.
It's Lee. See, you don't understand anything he says.
Dolphin Mike says he drove from Pittsburgh to Erie, Pennsylvania, and the time it took to get those picks. Over 100 miles of NFL picks. Good job by you.
And that's pretty awesome, man. That's good. I wonder how fast he was driving.
All right. Well, these guys are complaining, so we should probably end this nonsense right now. But remember, on the rebroadcast, thumbs up. Thumbs up. We like the thumbs up. It helps us out a lot.
All right. So,
and I'm on Cameo and all that. And who has made this possible, Gascon?
Ecamm Live has, but let's go real quick on your picks in reverse. So you have Dallas, Buffalo,
yes.
Rams, Bucks,
yeah.
Dolphins,
Correct.
Tennessee, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Giants, Patriots, Vikings, Jacksonville, Indy, and Carolina.
That is correct. Those are the picks this week. We'll see how it turns out. If you win a lot of money, remember us. If you lose a lot of money, this is only for entertainment purposes, and it's a free show. And Bad job. You should never listen to an overnight radio guy who's moonlighting on a Friday night in the middle of the night. It's a bad job by you.
Hey, guys, please thumbs up if you can. Subscribe to the show. Subscribe to the Fifth Hour with Ben Maller. Got Andy Furball earlier today, which is great. They got 2 more episodes. Mailbag on Sunday, of course.
Furman was awesome, man. Furman.
Yeah.
Oh, and you got the Saturday. I saved a story that happened this last week here for the Fifth Hour podcast, and another amazing accomplishment. As I was out exercising, and I cashed in on I made money while exercising, Gascon. I did.
You did.
Don't look at me like that.
No,
I did.
First thing that comes to my mind when you're out exercising is a run to the park bathroom, but disaster was avoided on this trip.
Most of the bad things that have happened in my life have happened after I started doing the podcast with you. You realize that there's a connection.
It's like a dark cloud that just hovers over me. So
the gag-on effect, we call it. And guys, this is obviously where all the P1s are. Oh, Joe, I see Joe in San Antonio. You know how I know it's Joe in San Antonio?
Because he always takes shots at you.
No. He loves Alvin Robertson.
Why?
He wants to, because Alvin Robertson and him met years ago in San Antonio when Alvin Robertson was playing for the Spurs. I forget the details because he tells the story so often I don't listen anymore. But yeah, Joe has a total bromance with Alvin Robertson. Here's a guy that says he wants another poop story.
No, not yet.
Yeah, let me tell you, I'm coming up on the 1-year anniversary of being without a gallbladder.
Yeah. I
had the operation November 3rd of 2019, the anniversary of my late mom's birthday. I celebrated my late mom's birthday by having major surgery. Don't shake your head, Gascon. That is the most painful. Gallbladder surgery is the most painful surgery you can have. Did you know that?
I don't believe that. I've had a rotator cuff surgery twice, and that was pretty painful.
You're wrong. I'm telling you, I can send you the story if you want. The most painful surgery is the surgery that I had.
Let me play on my little violin for you.
Oh, you're stealing my material. That's good. That's good, Gascon. Now, I'll remember that next time you give me one of your sob stories west of the 405. I'll remember that. I got to get out of here. This show's 22 minutes. We've gone 22 minutes over, Gascon. 22 minutes. Now, part of the reason we went over is because after about 10 minutes of the show, Gascon realized that we were the only 2 people that were watching the show because he sent me the wrong link. This donkey over there, Mama Luke, David Gascon, the Dingleberry. Bad job by you, Gascon.
Till next week.
I love the word Mama Luke. I love the word Mama Luke. It's a great word.